Hey there, how's it going? So today we're talking about subscribe, the third step in the customer value journey. And this is where you actually get to collect the information. This is the step where the first two steps prime the pump for somebody to actually want to give you the information. One of the first things that I want to cover is that we need to realize that people guard their email and their phone numbers nowadays as much as they guard their social security number. Giving somebody your email and your phone number is become really personal when most people think, well, it's just an email, it's just a phone number. But the problem is that people, the consumer, have been traumatized by crappy marketers and unscrupulous salespeople and businesses who just hammer them until the end, right? People always say that, you're not a real salesperson unless you keep trying, and they either got to tell you that no, they don't want to buy, or tell you to go away. And that's great because persistency does work, but it's how you implement that persistency that matters. And because too many people have implemented it in the wrong way, the rest of us have to pay for it. Think about it as dating somebody who had a really rough past, and now you're paying for all the mistakes that everybody else did. All the crappy ways that they were treated before, you have to pay for them. Well, as marketers, as business owners, that's what we're doing. We're paying for all the crappy marketers, all the unscrupulous businesses that have mistreated the consumer before. So when somebody goes to fill in their email and their phone number, the first thing that they think is dread. And it's like they think, wow, is this person going to spam me? Is this person going to harass me? Is it really worth it? And you have to change that mindset and understand the emotions behind that simple fact of just typing in an email and a phone number. Like as a marketer, you think, and as a business owner, you think, well, it's just your email and your phone number. Come on, just give it to me, right? But the consumer, they don't like that. They don't want to give it out because they're worried about what's going to happen. They're worried that the same thing that happened to them before is going to happen again. So instead of dread and hesitation, you need to change that emotional mindset, that emotional state that they have right when they see your subscription page or your opt-in form into opportunity, into enticement. You have to entice them to think opportunity. They have to think that, wow, this is what I've been missing. They have to want it, right? They have to want to give you your information, not because, oh, it's just something simple or something basic that they can get anywhere. They have to want it to the point where they're going to give you their information. They feel that it's valuable. So, and it's not just about providing value. Like, it's the mindset that we have as marketers that has to change. Like people think of what it's a lead capture page. Well, realistically, who wants to be captured? Nobody wants to be captured. People want to be, courted, and they want somebody who's going to romance them and wine them and dine them, whatever. And that's how it is with the consumer. You have to romance them in order for them to feel comfortable to give you their email and their phone number. And the way that you do that is by following these steps. You follow the awareness, you let them know who you are, you follow the engagement, you speak the conversations that are already going on their head, and then you provide them something, whether it's information, whether it's access to an event, whether it's a product or service, whatever it is, but you give them something that makes them feel that all of a sudden this pain that they had can go away. All of a sudden what they didn't think was possible is really possible. You have to give them that emotional boost that they've been looking for, right? They're out here searching for a solution and you want to be that solution. You have to convince them up front that you are going to be that solution. And the subscription step, even though it's the third step, it actually, the way that I look at it, is a step that's recurring through the whole process, because every time they open an email, they're subscribing again to you. Every time that they pick up the phone to talk to you, they're subscribing to you again. And you have to make sure that you do even more work on the back end of once you get that subscription. Don't fall off and just, give them canned email drips, give them standard messaging. I mean, I've seen it in the real estate space, all these CRMs that come with the automatic drip campaigns. That's great, because what do they say? Just stay in front of them, just stay top of mind. Well, it's not just staying top of mind, it's not just staying in front of them, it's stay relevant. You have to stay relevant in order for people to actually want to be able to interact with you and to feel like you don't think of them as just a number. If you're not being relevant, if you're not listening to them, if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, then they're going to blow you off. They're going to see they are just a number. And you rely on these artificial intelligent things that predict that, well, if they seen, like for again, the real estate space, and I saw this in a group yesterday, was, this platform sends them, do you want to schedule an open house because they've seen a property 2 or 3 times. Maybe they've seen it because they're comparing it to somebody else. Maybe they're seeing it because they're showing it to somebody else, but maybe that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to go see an open house. And if you keep sending them that kind of information, do you want to schedule, just because they do that behavior, that doesn't bode well for you as somebody who they want to do business with, because you're not paying attention, you're assuming. And what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and you make an ass out of me. So please understand, the subscription step in the process is crucial for you to get right. And the only way you're going to get it right is by dealing with the emotions that come behind giving somebody, the consumer giving somebody their email on their phone information. And then you also want to make sure that your follow-up is customized and relevant and pays attention to them after they've subscribed, or they'll unsubscribe right away. Because it does you no good to get somebody to subscribe if they're just going to unsubscribe right after. You want to make sure that those subscribes actually stick. You want to make sure that they're constantly subscribing to you. I hope that you guys have found value and understand what I'm trying to convey to you. And like always, if you ever need any help or need some, us to look at what you're doing, and you want us to, give you a hand, whatever it may be, feel free to reach out. And I wrote a more extensive blog that goes into more detail, and the link's below. So I'll talk to you guys next time. And once again, I hope I provided you value, and I hope that you pay attention and understand that the consumer is no longer going to fall for the half-ass marketing of before.